Hello, my name is Mariana and this is a reading for Aries. So Aries, I've done your reading as usual with my own deck, so the cards you'll see are from this deck. Aries, today your message feels actually pretty collective, but I guess it's just because there are more of you here, so I'm receiving more energy. So yeah, I'm just keeping it as an Aries reading, but I feel like somehow it has to do with people all over the world getting ready to step into their roles, to their spiritual roles, but and their responsibilities here on earth. And what is this, like, what is the importance of stepping it into your own role, like your spiritual role, right? But as a human being here on earth. And I don't exactly know where this is leading. This is the mystery of this reading for you today, Aries, but let's just see what comes through with the cards. So we open up with the World. This is the reason why I'm saying it. First of all, it felt collective because it came through. It's like it was like this instant like bit of information that was fracking up with so many different meanings all at once in this one card opening up your reading, Aries. So being the World, it's like yes, it is connected to Earth, right? The planet, but also this geometry of a sphere. It's like, so to me, this shape, right? This geometry, the sphere, is like this very high, very tuned in, very subtle, but also very powerful energy, right? Something that I cannot really put into words. It's like I've seen this image so many times in dreams, especially when I was a kid, and it was like this spherical shape that was like compressing and expanding, compressing and expanding. And this is what I'm seeing here, but it also has the meaning, right? As I said, it's like there are multiple meanings with this one card opening up. It's like opening up Pandora's box in a sense, because it's like what I'm seeing, it's like all of these lights all over the world, and they are all lighting up, slowly but surely, and they are increasing, and it's almost like it's almost like they are doing this, like compressing and expanding, but in light and throughout the world. And I feel like this is a reason why I'm saying it's like it's all of you. It's this is a message, for many people in a sense, because I feel like it's like it's taking on what is your responsibility in the place that you're in, exactly where you are, especially because we have 2 5s. And 5 for me, because of the 5 of Pentacles, if you've seen other of my readings where I talk about the 5 of Pentacles, it's talking about a specific location, but you'll see the next card that follow. But there are 2 5s, 5 of Swords and 5 of Cups, that I'll talk about it in a minute. But what I'm saying here is that the thing about the location where you are in the world is crucial, right? Okay, so it's what I'm hearing now. It's like it's a collective effort, right? So you doing your part, you being you lighting up your own being right now where you are. It's the most important thing, right? So this is like this multi-layered meaning of the first card, right? So the importance of the place where you are right now in the world, like the physical location, but also this second meaning, and maybe the most important of all, this essence that's within you, that, you know, it's this sphere in your being, right, that wants to expand, but, you know, it's this constant dynamic, right? And how this is, I feel like this is like preparation, because, well, let's go to the other cards, but I feel like there's something about to begin, right? And it's almost like we're in rehearsals and everyone is getting ready, right, to play their parts in a sense, wherever you are in the world. So after the world, we have these three cards. We have the Five of Swords, Judgment, and the Five of Cups. So these two fives, as I said, you know, because they are this cross shape, it feels to me that, you know, especially when they come, you know, doubled up, it feels like there is this deepening, there is this, it's like this further look, like this further observation, right? This deeper understanding of the place that you are, not physically, right? Well, not yet, because the world, yes, is talking about a physical location too, but I feel like somehow, especially with the Judgment in the center, it's like there is this preparation that goes from the spiritual realm with the swords energy to the emotional realm, which is actually representing us as human beings, or you, Aries, in a sense. So what I'm seeing, it's like these subtle energies that are here represented by the Five of Swords, which has nothing to do with the traditional meaning, okay? So it's almost like, it's interesting because it's something that I was talking to Sen about. So I was talking to her about this point of landing, which I don't know exactly what it means, but I saw this image of an airport, right? And this is what I'm seeing with the Five of Swords. It's almost like those guys with the lights, right? Indicating like where to land, you know what I mean? So this is what I mean, like this reading today, Aries, has so many different layers of meanings. I hope that I'm doing okay in translating it. So, point of landing, but from this spiritual realm, right, into first, not the physical realm, but the emotional realm, which is, you know, our intuition in a sense, but also it's like this, what I'm seeing with the Five of Cups is like this opening up of your chest, opening up. Oh yeah, okay, obviously. This is related to this compression and expansion that I was seeing with the sphere of the world, right? So this is what is happening here. It's almost like, it's like this dialogue between, you know, spirit and you, in a sense, holding your emotions and then expanding your heart, and holding your emotions and then expanding. It's interesting because for Pisces, the last reading, there was also this activation of the heart with a lot of movement, right? And here I feel like it's something that is happening inside of you. It's almost like this, it's interesting. So the sphere that I saw from the world, especially with the Judgment card, because they are like this, right? So what I was seeing, it's like the Judgment is calling this seed that is already in you, this sphere of light that is already in you, to start this process. So it's almost like it starts, you know, very subtle. It's almost like this inner sensation that start to spark inside your heart, in a sense, right? But it's like this point of landing. So the point of landing is not exactly a specific location, although I feel like it will come to that, right? And where you are at is important as well. But first, this call, in a sense, is coming from within. So it's like listening to your own emotions, listening to this moment of compression or depression is what I'm hearing right now, right? When we enter in this more introspective kind of way, is this compression. Sorry about the noise. So, and then when it expands with joy and light, it's like we're it's like fortifying this connection. You see what I mean? And so the Judgment card here is talking about this call that is coming from within, but it's almost like it's this, what I'm hearing, it's like this doorbell, right? It's like this soundbite of something signaling that, this process has begun. I feel like it's not something that is starting now. This is the difference, because I feel like it's all like, it feels like a giant rehearsal. So it's almost like now you realize that this process of, emotional and mental, especially, right, with the consciousness, not mental in ego based, mental in a sense of this higher mind, right, this spiritual mind, but also connecting to the language of your emotions. So realizing that this was already a process that was going on. So it's not something new. It's already like preparation that perhaps it's been like a long time coming. So it's this starting very small. As I said, it's almost like this seed in your heart, like this tiny sphere, right? Oh, this is so beautiful. It's like, so what I'm seeing, it's like, it's a similar thing to Earth. So it's almost like it's been a long time coming for Earth. So we as Earth beings, as Earth children in a sense, we are this seed that is constantly growing a little bit more, and contracting and expanding a little bit and a little bit more. And then this is something that the Earth is feeling too, and Aries being the first sign of the zodiac is almost like, in a sense, it's this pioneering movement, to reach the collective in a sense. But what I'm seeing, it's like now it's time for you to realize that, this process has been going on, and now it seems like it's got to a point of so what I'm hearing, it's like this soundbite that was very subtle, right? That was just, this subtle intuition and these subtle emotions, suddenly they got very big, right? The sound of this judgment, the call, has been growing and growing and growing, because this sphere has been growing and growing and growing, right? With this process of contracting and expanding, contracting and expanding. So it feels like this is it's almost like this is like a background to explain or to understand that this call or this signal or this process started a long time ago, right? And now what is going on is this. So these three cards that are on the bottom line, we have the Magician, the King of Cups, and the High Priestess. So there's a lot in here. First of all, let's start with the Magician, because it came through with a very, the call that I heard here, almost like it didn't have words, right? There was only that, like, this sound. It's almost like this bell or this doorbell ringing in a sense, right? But it was like one sound. It wasn't like constantly going, right? But it was only sound. So there weren't any, it's not that there weren't any messages in it. It's just that it was pure vibration, you see? So now that it got to a point that it's growing, right? Exactly where you are, because, the growth had to happen first within you, right? With the 2 5s that we saw. So now it has come to a point where this Magician is almost like presenting. So this Magician is playing many parts. So the first role that he's playing, in a sense, is like he's like this presenter for us collective, and for you Aries especially, because I feel like in a sense you're embodying this presenter. It's almost like you're announcing, or you're inviting, you're like opening up this show, and you're saying to the audience, take your seats, because that's what I heard. Take your seats, the show is about to begin. And it's awesome, because this is definitely going to be the title today. So I love when this happens. So the magician is saying, take your seats, the show is about to begin. And it has, you know, a double meaning, because in a sense you're saying, Aries, this to others, but also it's a message for you to embody this presenter kind of role, in a sense, you know. But it's beautiful because, you know, when the magician came, and before these two cards came along, I saw like this as this very masculine power of manifesting, in a sense that masculine, in a sense, not female or male, not male, right? Not distinguishing these two, even though here, yes, we have clearly a distinction. But before these two cards came, what I saw, it was this the masculine approach to things, which is very objective, which is very practical, which is very outgoing, you know, it's outward focused. And this is what I saw this presenter showing. It's like, take your seats. It was beautiful because it was this motion, which is something, which was a word that came through in Pisces reading too. But it was like this motion with the hands from the magician as a presenter, like, take your seats, like the show's about to begin. So it's like presenting, but coming from the heart. You see what I mean? So it's like this giving from the heart, right? That you have sensed, you know, because your own seed, Aries, has been growing and growing and growing inside of you. And so now it's like you're inviting people to step into their roles too, right? Because it's like you stepping into your own role as this magician. You are inviting others, and not inviting, although yes, I feel like you are inviting in a verbal kind of way, but it's like by doing so, you are calling others to embody like their roles, to step into their roles too, you know what I mean? So with this King of Cups in the center, oh yeah, so the second message of the magician, it's also related to the High Priestess. So in a way, stepping into your role, because as I saw you doing this, right, saying take your seats, the show's about to begin, I saw also this motion of putting on your hat. So, and this is all metaphorical, right? Because putting on your hat is almost like now you are, it's like now is the moment to put on your costume in a sense, as if, even if you are inviting others, you know, to be part of the audience, it's like the audience are part of the show too. You see what I mean? I don't know if this makes sense at all. It's just, it feels like this show, right? Where you are presenting, but you are inviting people that are watching, that came to watch the show, to actually put on their own costumes, so they too have a role to play, in a sense, right, in this big show. Yeah, let's wait for the helicopter. So, oh god. So the King of Cups in the center, this is like it's going this to this deeper level, to actually, you know, what I saw with the Five of Cups being this emotion. It's almost like you are becoming fluent in the language of your own emotions. You are letting it be expressed through you, right? This is what I was seeing here. But being exactly where you are, right? And accepting the journey, the emotional journey, because this was preparation for you to become fluent in this language of your own emotions. And so by becoming so fluent, it's like you have stepped into the highest role possible, right? And so, and this is interesting because it's almost like, you know, Aries being the magician, it's like you're talking to this audience that is made only by very high level, you know, this high caliber audience in a sense, because it's almost like they're all experts in this language of love, right? In this language of emotions. So it's almost like when you signal them, right, with your hands saying that the show is about to begin, so take your seats, and you put on your hat, it's almost like you signal them that they, oh, this is so beautiful. I love when these images come so clear. It's like when you put on your hat, Aries, it's like they are authorized, right? You give them permission in a sense, but not the permission. It's like you give them the cue for them to put on their crowns. You see what I mean? So this is so beautiful because in a sense, it's like you put your hat, you put on your costume, you step into your role, and by doing so, you are giving them the signal that they too, it's time for them to step into their roles too, right? Because they have become fluent, so they know their part. And you know, ending with the high priestess is so beautiful because, you know, you being this presenter, you know, handling so well this very important role to play that requires this masculine outgoing strength, right? This courage to just be out there, right? To start this movement in a sense. So this is where this connection comes to fruition. So remember when I was saying it's like spirit is somehow connecting to you through your own emotions and to the audience, you know, all around the world, in a sense, to the collective, right? To the audience here that you're presenting this show. So once this process comes to this point of perfect, it's like this perfect moment in time, right? It's like this, yeah, it's like this point of landing, right? It's this point of arrival. And so the point of arrival is signaling that, so this is interesting. So, okay, first of all, what I was seeing with the high priestess is like this evolution. It's like this development of the audience and everyone involved in that show, you know, whether it's you being this presenter as the magician or the audience as the King of Cups, it's like this natural evolution that leads to the high priestess, which is like connecting to the most, like this purest spiritual frequency. It's how I can explain. It's like this, what I'm seeing is like this very thin line. It's like this smoky line that it's connecting us to spirit in a sense. And this is what I'm seeing with this pointing up, right? So it's like everyone in this audience is connecting now to this thread in a sense, but it's not physical. It's like almost ethereal, right? But what I was getting right now is a second message, because this message is like multi-layered all around. It's like, it's not that it's an evolution of who's here in this world, in this earth, in this dimension. In reality, it's like they are the stars of the show in a sense. So it's almost like all of us in a sense, right? The audience represented by the King of Cups and Aries being the presenter. It's like now the show begins, because now the main character, right, is here. It's like the high priestess is what I'm seeing. It's like this this focus of light in the center stage, and you know, this smoke that is building up, and I don't know exactly what is going to come through here. It's like, this is, I feel like, the farthest that I can go, but it's like, it feels like this very cosmic spectacle in a sense, right? And they're about to arrive in a sense. So this is where we end this part of your reading. Oh my god, it's 25 minutes long. Okay, so I'm going to pull more cards, Aries, and I'm going to pull from the astrological runes. And if you want to join me in the extended, I'll be happy to see you. If not, I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.